So Jerome Powell is being renominated by President Biden to the position of chair of the Federal Reserve. This is a pretty big position, obviously. You are the head of the central bank of the US for the next 4 years. He was first appointed by Trump in 2018. That was a pretty contentious relationship there for a while, especially during the first days of the pandemic when the Federal Reserve was taking a lot of initiative in the money markets, trying to bolster the economy. And we've seen a lot of pressure recently with the inflation crisis that's happening. Of course, this year, the Reserve and other government agencies were saying, hey, this is inflation, but it's transitory, it's going to go away. Well, we saw last month that it was at 6%. It doesn't seem like that is slowing down at all. But President Biden is going to stick with his man at the helm. He's not going to throw him aside. Naomi, what's your take on this? It seems like it'd be maybe good for markets just to have some sort of stability. Like you want to have the ability to kind of go with the status quo, know what the leadership is like, instead of just keep swapping back and forth. But at the same time, we're Bitcoiners, so we don't really want someone to be at the top of the stack.
Well, when they talk about this in terms of, well, the S&P responded favorably to this, so it's good news for the markets. And they say that as markets as if like it's good news for the people. What this means is they expect Jerome Powell will continue to print astronomical amounts of money. And where's the first place in the economy that benefits from this money injection? It's the stock market. So whoever gets that first money injection basically gets money redistributed to them at the expense of everyone who loses their purchasing power in society. So that is probably why markets are reacting favorably, because they know that more money is going to continue to get injected into the stock market. I mean, it's just interesting the way all of this is phrased. Like, it's like, oh, well, he helped steer us through the worst downturn in modern American history. Are they going to say that, oh, well, he helped steer us through some of the worst inflation we've ever seen? Like, they're talking about this like he is the savior here, rather than, you know, one of the people who caused all of this. So when we look at the Federal Reserve, the amount of a crazy amount of control that they have over our lives, and a lot of people never really think about how much control they have over our lives, but they have complete control over monetary policy, which affects all of us. And so I think that portraying him as the savior in all of this is crazy to me. And it was government in general that really created this downturn. I think that COVID is being scapegoated a lot in this. I'm sure that there would have been a market downturn, and I do not think it would have been nearly this bad had all these government mandates not come into place. So I'm not particularly happy that we have we still have Jerome Powell, but I'm also not happy that we still have a Federal Reserve. So that's kind of where I stand on this. I'm with Ron Paul. I think we should end the Fed. At least we need to audit the Fed, because all the stuff they're doing there is so opaque, and we just can't get an audit organized by Congress. They just will not vote for it, because guess who's getting paid to not vote for an audit of the Fed? But let's move on to Jen and get away from all of these hard truths.
We got to show the meme.
Yeah, we have to show the meme. We have a comment. And
I mean, Jen, because your hand went up, not next
My hand
story.
went up, I know.
Yeah.
So just off the back of what you were saying, Naomi, there's it's not a quote, but the article said that Biden said, with Powell as chair and Brainard as vice chair, he expects that the duo will help keep the focus on low inflation, stable prices, and provide more employment for the American people. And my initial reaction was just like the sideways eyes emoji. Like, has the focus been on low inflation? It just feels like we're saying a lot of things, but when we look at what was actually done, the two don't match up. I know we're going to take a look at that meme, but I found a tweet from Phil Geiger that I wanted to read out. I didn't send it to Control, so you guys can't see it, but you'll get the point. They tweeted, Powell is a great pick. He has printed more US dollars than anyone else in history, so he has the most experience at printing more US dollars. So just a lot of sarcastic people on Twitter this morning. And before I kick it to Will to talk about the meme, I do need to say that David Lynn on YouTube said you need to change that pumpkin for a snowman behind you. We're done with the pumpkins.
Yeah, we're done. Well, no, we're not yet. It's not.
Seems a bit harsh.
Thanksgiving.
It's not Thanksgiving.
Yeah. No, it's not Thanksgiving yet. I'm sorry. I'm Canadian, so I have a pass.
YouTube chat, you were overruled and dismissed. That was a terrible suggestion, and please do better next time. We will keep our Thanksgiving celebrations up until after Thanksgiving. Thank you. My goodness, David. All right. Sorry. Will, continue, please.
No, I think also as the Colorado on the show, I'll be the snow expert, and there's been no snow here yet, so I wouldn't even be able to make a snowman. But just to counter Naomi's point, just to do a little devil's advocacy here, the Federal Reserve has two mandates: stable prices, which we have not seen this year, and full employment, which we actually have seen a lot of good employment this year. In fact, most people are quitting their jobs because there's other opportunities they want to look for. So it's funny to see that right now we have one of the two happening. And you could argue that the Reserve it's doing its job on some level. Not going to bite, Naomi?
Its job is wrong. it's a ridiculous mandate,
agree.
and now they're adding all these other mandates to it. They're like, now climate change is somehow a part of monetary policy, and it's like what is not going to be part of the purview of this unelected group of bureaucrats controlling our lives? It just gets scary how much they already control. So I know you're baiting me into another rant, and I fall for it. It worked. Fly the stinker every single time. But yeah, I mean, we don't need a Federal Reserve anymore. We don't need a group of elites to control monetary policy. We have Bitcoin. We have cryptocurrencies that are determined by code, and it is a democratization of power rather than the centralization of power in the hands of a few. This is why we love crypto. This is why crypto is the future, because eventually it's going to come a time where people look at their money and they say, I have lost 98% of my purchasing power holding this for the last 100 years. Why would I hold it for another 100? And they're all going to jump ship, and the government is terrified of it, which is why Jerome Powell constantly is talking about how we cannot allow this crypto thing to destabilize the economy. And that's the reality of it.